Hi, Rob here. So the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that there hasn't been a video for the last couple of weeks because there was a little thing called Christmas and New Year and I was out of the country for a couple of weeks. So I haven't had a chance to do a proper one of these videos for a little while. So what I wanted to do was just a very quick update here, kind of in this impromptu setting like this, because I am actually working on a much more detailed video in the meantime because we've had some good news over the holidays, namely that one of the members of our party who's been in hospital for like half a year now, he was actually the DM on the previous campaign that we were doing, the Dragon's Dogma one. He's actually out of hospital, so he's still recuperating, he's still getting back on his feet, so to speak, but it's really, really good news, and hopefully he'll be joining us at the table soon. So what I want to do is pull together a nice little summary of the campaign so far video, but that's going to take a little bit longer to do, and so in the meantime, I'm just kind of doing this little quick refresh because I know that my group actually watch these videos and kind of rely on them sometimes for a bit of their recaps. So yeah, been a bit of a fun New Year, Christmas time for me, just to say. I had a bit of a project during the Christmas period. I built myself a little thing to help with future DMing, which I'm quite proud of. My carpentry skills are not the best, but I think you'll agree it's not terrible, and you can see we can then have live in-person Roll20, kind of a strange experience there. What else? Well, I normally don't do New Year's resolutions, but this year I do actually have one. My wife and I have made the rather difficult decision that we're going to try going semi-vegan. I know, it's a big one. It's veganuary anyway, but there we go. Why? Basically because we are parents, and that always makes you start thinking about the future. And yeah, I mean, I'm a bleeding heart liberal, what can I say? We got to protect the planet, all those things. I love meat. I love dairy. I would exist purely on a diet of cheese if I could, but it's not about what I want. Sometimes it's about what you need to do. So I'm making the difficult decision to try being at least flexitarian. So the recap, where did we get to last session? So it was a bit of a weird one. We actually had our last session not in the usual place where we have it. We actually had it at the DM's house. Very nice house. He was a very welcoming, gracious guest, and it was quite cool because he was able to Chromecast to his TV, and we were able to do the maps on the TV, which was quite cool. Kind of, again, that Roll20 live experience, which is always quite fun. The session itself was not the best, I'll be honest. It was a bit flat, mostly because, I mean, of just where we were in the campaign. So just to summarize very quickly, we were on the 7th floor, which is the one with the giants who have kind of lost their memories, and there's a giant spike pillar thing in the middle of the chamber, on top of which there was a castle magically kind of suspended in the air. And this castle we very quickly managed to deduce belonged to the Mage killer, the very same person that had been hunting down mages throughout the city of Skullport. Oh, my voice has gone echoey here, that's quite cool. Yeah, so we kind of hung around. It was a bit of, like I say, it was a bit of a flat session because basically the first half of the session was just us in this main chamber with this giant who we made friends with quite quickly. He wasn't a bad sort really for a giant. He just, as I say, he'd lost his memory. He had no idea what was going on. He was completely no help to us whatsoever. So, of course, we're thinking to ourselves, should we go and investigate this castle? Should we go up there somehow? Well, of course, that creates two issues. First of all, how would we get up there? We, of course, we had Kronos, our barbarian, in the party. He has a broom of flying. So I guess technically we do have the ability to get up there one by one. But then the second question, which is more important, which is like, why would we? Like, none of us in the party are mages. We're not being actively hunted by this mage killer. So, yeah. Why poke the bear by going to his lair, you know, and hunting him down? We have no reason to do that. And unfortunately, just because of how the campaign is written, I think it's kind of expected that you would go to that castle and investigate it. I got the impression that there was a lot of stuff that we kind of skipped over by making the active decision not to go to that castle. Just for fun, I'm going to show our actual journey through this floor.
No spoilers, but this is genuinely the way that we travelled. You decide for yourself if we skipped anything important.
But at the same time, it's genuinely what our characters would do. There is no reason why we would go up there. Kronos the Barbarian, he did kind of fly up there, did a bit of reconnaissance, came back down. Wasn't much interesting up there. We saw that there was some sort of dragon up there. We were like, no thank you, we're good, we're fine. So after that, it was just a case of us hanging around thinking, us as players going, we should probably go up there, right? Because that could be quite fun. There's a lot of stuff up there. And us as characters going, no. So it was a bit of an impasse. And as a result, half the session basically went by and we just stayed in that same room. And at the end of the day, we just eventually said, yeah, we really wouldn't go up there. So we hung around a bit. We spoke to a few more giants. All of them have lost their memories. None of them know anything. And then we found the stairs to the next floor and we went down and we leveled up. And all in all, it was probably the least satisfying level up of all times. Because if ever there was a time when I didn't feel like I actually hit a milestone point, it was the point where we deliberately skip over the milestone getting quest, as it were. So that was that. We did, however, managed to speak to the Mage killer a little bit. I think the DM going through the notes was suddenly like, actually, this is a bit of a hole in the campaign writing. I think he kind of decided to throw us a bone and was like, okay, I do actually need them to talk to this Mage killer a little bit. So what happened was, as I said, Kronos the Barbarian, he flew up there, he was kind of scouting around. He came back down and we made it that like the Mage killer had been aware of this, and then he was basically spying on us afterwards. And our paladin in the party, he, and I quote, said, "I command you to come down and talk to us like a man." And so the DM was like, roll persuasion. He rolled quite high because he's a paladin, and so lo and behold, the Mage killer, Olibash himself, the Loxodon, he teleported down and he was speaking to us. And basically he was actually quite reasonable. It turns out that he'd been kind of hired by Hallister, the Mad Mage, to hunt down these mages. And he had a list, and he'd check it twice, and he had a list of basically every single person that was inside the dungeon. And he's just like going through the list. Oh yes, you're this person, kind of ticking us off. Very bureaucratic, really, for a serial killer. And we had a good old chimwag with him. And at the end of this chimwag, basically, both Kronos and myself, Gorn, we were like, hang on a second, you've got a list with every single person that is in this dungeon on it. We're looking for someone. Gorn, he's looking for the people who kind of conned him in the past and tricked him and robbed him of everything that he'd ever loved. And Kronos is, of course, looking for his brother. And we said, can you tell us where these things are? And he said, yeah, I can give you that information. It's going to cost you. And he said he is looking at, there's a rival on the 20th, 21st floor, something like this. I don't have my notes. He said that he's got some like guy that he doesn't particularly like. He said, when you get down there, can you off him for us? And if you do, I will give you this information. We're like, well, I mean, killing a person that the Mage killer himself doesn't seem able to kill. That sounds quite worrying. What sort of level this person's going to be, but at the same time, if we've already been given the information by the time we get to him, I mean, he's not going to know if we don't fulfill that promise that we've made. He is going to know. But anyway, that's a future issue to worry about. But for now, we said, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And he said, okay, cool. And so he told us that the people that we're looking for are on the 21st floor, both the brother and the people who wronged me in the past. They're both down there, 21st floor floor. Wow, that's a long way down. We're on the 8th floor. So we said, okay, that's great. And Kronos the Barbarian, I think the player himself, he'd been wanting to play his backup character for a little while. He doesn't really like playing barbarians. I don't think he quite gels with them. That's fair enough. His playing style is more suited to rogues, and so he said, "Can I?" He just asked the DM, "Is this a good opportunity to swap my characters?" And so, in the game, he basically said that he asked the Mage Killer if he could be teleported to the 21st floor, and the Mage Killer said, "Sure, no problem," and he teleported him there. And of course, on the 21st floor, we should be at like level 18, 19 or something like this. So I am sure right now he is dead. But we will find out for sure when we actually get down there. We'll probably find some rotting corpse of a Goliath barbarian in the corner of the room, and that'll be all she wrote for that barbarian character. But then, you know, we very quickly met the new member of our party. As I said, we went down to the next level of the dungeon, level 9. Are we on? Gosh, we're going through these quite quickly now. No, level 8 now. The one with the swamp. We're on a swamp level now. There is a swamp everywhere. We went through it a little bit. We didn't get super far. We found another gate. We found some like, what are they called? Like living plants, basically. I can't remember the name of them. I'll flash it on the screen now if I do. We kind of fought them. That there was like a corpse of some duergar. We liberated it from those. We cast Speak with Dead on it, and we just asked it what it was doing down there. We found out a little bit about the floor and what was on it, and then we kind of ended the session. I can't remember off the top of my head what there are. There's basically, as is the case on every single floor in this dungeon so far, there's basically 2 groups on this floor, is what we learned. Two groups who are at loggerheads with each other, and we are the deciding factor, pressing on the scales of destiny. I can't remember what those 2 groups are right now. I will flash those on the screen here and here. There we go. That's who they are. Off the top of my head, I think, and remember, this is 2 weeks of notes looking back on now. I think it's Yuan-Ti and Drow. I might be very wrong there, in which case my memory sucks and I'm getting old. Another reason for the vegan diet, improves the memory. Anyway, so that's it really. As I say, we didn't really achieve very much. The level up's nice, Christmas wishes, all that stuff. We did a Secret Santa, we gave each other dice. Who doesn't like dice, you know? But yeah, looking forward to getting back into it properly. As I say, we are going to be getting the 5th member of our party soon. And then I think probably what's going to happen is, I mean, this is to be negotiated, but it'll be some sort of timeshare situation where we do 1 week of Dungeons and Mad Mage, 1 week of Dragon's Dogma, something like this. 1 week on, 1 week off. I'm not sure if I'll keep doing these video recaps for both of those campaigns. I'll just probably pick a lane, and then I'll use the other week to do something else, because, you know, I've got lots of ideas. So that's everything. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you next time for a much more interesting, exciting video. Look forward to that. Bye.